whisper, dinner in hell. There were a few tables with women with blue hair and pastel leisure suits off the cruise ship, and a couple of hip couples in blue jeans. Cliff ordered this enormous dinner of canard l'orange, and then announced he was too sick to eat and left. Violetta leaned over to me and said, "Honey, well, Cliff tells me you have an admirer at the jazz festival. I can't wait to meet him." "Oh, no, it's really Cliff's friend. It's because he plays the trombone." "Well, honey, what's his name?" "His name is Ivan. Could we drop it?" "Well, I was just trying to take an interest." "I'm sorry." "Oh, I hate her. I hate myself. I wish I'd gone home with Cliff." "Well, I'm reading this book, and it's about how to get over guilt, and it says that we are all entitled." Violetta had to be the center of attention. She talked us through dinner like an airport tower bringing in a lost plane. The bill was $270. Monty put down 60 and said, "Violetta and I don't drink." Asha said, "I am so sorry, I don't have any money." "Oh, it's all right. It's Violetta that's driving me crazy." "Oh, she is bringing up my stuff too. It is all practice." Well, I went home and I lit a stick of incense to meditate. But the incense reminded me of some incense that Winston gave me years ago. It was very expensive Japanese incense, and he gave it to me with a bronze Buddha. It was Valentine's, and I gave him a card which said that it was good for a trip for two in the Caribbean. But we never went. We never had time. But what time? We built a fence between us that was nothing but insecurities, and we thought that it was the Berlin Wall. Now I'm building a wall with Violetta. But my ruminations were interrupted by the angry voice of Violetta. "Monty, I came all the way down here, and now you won't make love to me. Well, you can just buy this ticket. It's $1,500. And I heard a door slam. The next thing I know, Monty's at my door saying that Violetta's having a nervous breakdown, and he flings himself into a chair and does look as if he's going to spend the night. "Monty, you asked her down here, and you have to deal with her. But I will very generously give you a Valium to split." The next evening, everybody went to the jazz festival, except for Cliff, who was still deeply in love denial. As we were leaving, Ivan came down the steps, and Violetta said, "That's him, isn't it, honey? Say hello." "I did yesterday." "Well, that's not today." "Why is everybody pushing me on Ivan?" So I introduced them, and he held Violetta's outstretched hand for a second. And she said, "Honey, doesn't he have the most marvelous lion male energy?" Well, she and Monty went off to have dinner alone together. And Asha asked me to have drink in a cafe, something that nobody in our house party has ever thought of doing before. We went to the bar d'Oublier, and Asha said, "Your neck's bothering you." So I gave her this sort of short version of ankylosing spondylitis. "Let's have rum drinks without the rum. I want to take care of you. I really like you." I'm so relieved to be noticed at all that I adore Asha. It turns out that we were both at the coronation in Kathmandu in 1975. And I know that exclusive jewel box of Royal India in which she grew up, and the Gardenia Circuit of Society in which we both played. Asha, how come you're reading the book about chakras? Oh, I have been on a spiritual quest all my life. She put her little gold hand on my arm. Years ago, I went to an ashram in Thailand. Buddha Dasa was the teacher. It changed my life. But I've been there, sleeping on those concrete blocks with nothing, trying to take a bath in that huge tub with 30 women dipping water out of it. Oh, we are Dharma sisters. Well, it was funny. When you said that Violetta was bringing up your stuff, it's that whole practice of seeing that what we like and dislike in other people is really in ourselves. I was so inspired by this conversation with Asha that I actually invited Violetta to go shopping the next day. So we went to this little boutique that sells absolutely everything. And as we were pulling through the racks, I asked her who she'd been married to. Well, I was married to a jazz musician, and then I almost married a physicist, but he ended up hating me. Really? Yes, he missed the boat. You should buy that. It's a good color for you. It makes you look younger. Monty's gonna miss the boat if he doesn't watch out. What is it exactly that you like about Monty? Oh, I like that he's an intellectual, and he's got interesting friends, and I like having sex with him. That's quite the dress. Where would you ever wear it? Oh, I wear this all the time. I like to be beautiful all the time. I think red is becoming to me. You know, Monty and I are a good match. We look well together. Well, she does look divine in that dress. You should buy that. I'm telling you, most of the sweaters in here, you'd have to be 20 to wear them. By the way, Monty said you had a terrible time breaking up. What happened? Did he? Well, I lay on the sofa all winter and it rained. Do you know that poem by Verlaine? Il pleut dans mon cœur comme il pleut sur les toits. No, do you like this hat? It rains in my heart as it rains on the roofs. What is this sadness that penetrates my heart? I'll take the hat. Listen, you should have called up Ivan. He's cute. I loved being married to a jazz musician. He was just the wrong one. I mean, trumpet players are finicky. But he would be good for you. He's perfect for you. I think this dress is perfect for me, don't you? Well, I think that dress is great, but I'd never dare wear it. It's so dressy. Forget Ivan. I don't want to be in a relationship. Just watching all of you reminds me how awful it can be. But the next day, Asha and Cliff said they were going to cook a fabulous dinner together, and they insisted I ask Ivan. So I did. Violetta wore the long red dress that I had suggested was perfect for black tie evenings. Everybody else was in shorts or cotton pants. I wore a sarong and a kind of a sexy tank top. When we got home, Violetta took Ivan out to the swimming pool to look at the moon, while I emptied the kitchen cabinets looking for rum for his drink. But of course, Cliff has drunk everything up. I needn't have bothered. All Ivan could see was that red dress. Then, while I was helping Asha carry in some plates, Violetta sat down and put Ivan next to her. She purred about ribs and scat and treatments and jazz. And when she found out that he was a filmmaker, does she know from Aliens? Why, she thinks she is one. Some psychic told her that her aura is a different shape from other people's, and therefore she's an alien. Well, Ivan was riveted. Now he wants to interview her for his film. He had her address before we even got to the moose. I thought, this is kind of boring. I wish I was in bed reading How Proust Can Change Your Life. Just then, Violetta said, our hostess paints these adorable little watercolors. And everybody looked at me expectantly. Ivan said, how nice, you paint. Now, what was the name of that psychic? He was like a St. Bernard, drooling all over her. Cliff, with unexpected loyalty, said, Beau's paintings are going to be in my television show. Well, I couldn't sleep. So around 2, I went out on the deck. And now the cruise ship and its music is gone. The moonlight was glittering on the little wavelets like icicle chips. It's not that the dinner parties with pink linen napkins and cloisonné elephant candlesticks are over. It's just my illusion that dinner parties are a raison d'etre that's over. I thought Monty was my friend, but now I realize that a lot of our connection has to do with reflecting each other's insecurities. I think I like the reflection I get from Asha a lot better. With her, it's more, well, it's not about the doings and havings of this world. It's about how are you doing in this incarnation. I'm kind of lonely and mulling. I feel as though I'm starting a whole new canvas of my life. And it's so blank. I asked the night spirits to give me an image of what I'm becoming now. And this orange flickered into being. Its fruit was scooped out, and in the empty rind, a candle burned. And then the flame grew larger. Well, I remember that the hunas in Hawaii have a practice that if you look directly into the sun, you can burn out old ideas and memories. I think that the flame in the orange is the sacred fire of truth. And I have to learn to accept what's happening to me now. The truth is, I'm a woman of a certain age. And no one is very attractive when they play at being something they aren't. The next morning, I found Asha having coffee, and she handed me a mango, and she said, "Oh, I am so sorry. I never would have suggested dinner." "Oh, it doesn't matter. Where's Cliff?" "Oh, he is in bed, and we talked all night. He's impossible." "Oh, Asha, forget Cliff. You know, if I hold this in my hand, I've got it, but I can't see it. And if I open my hand, it can get away, but I can see it. I realize that my life now isn't about hanging on to things anymore. It's about noticing what's already there.